guarding the sense of vision, our eyes and our vision. In order for the subject under discussion to continue in a rational and cohesive order, let me now comment for you what are the pleasurable objects of each one of the senses and how you must guard your mind from them. And here is the first sense which we meet, that of sight. Sight is the most regal of the senses, according to the naturalists. Sight is dependent upon the psychic spirit and related to the mind, according to the theologians. Sight is the most knowledgeable of the other senses, and therefore the most dependable, according to the metaphysicians. According to the popular proverb, the eyes are more trustworthy than the ears. According to the word of the Lord, the eye is the lamp of the body. According to the astronomers, the eyes are the two stars of the face. According to the moral philosophers, the eyes are the two first thieves of sin. A certain wise man has called the eyes two braids of the soul which it spreads out like the tentacles of an octopus to receive from afar whatever is desirable to it. Or, if I may say with St. Basil the Great, the eyes are the two bodiless arms with which the soul may reach out and touch from afar the visible things it loves. For whatever we cannot touch with our hands, these we can touch and enjoy with our eyes. The sense of sight, after all, is a touch more refined than the touch of the hands, but less refined than the touch of the imagination and of the mind. St. Basil wrote, "Vision can deceive the soul toward a certain pleasure, through the touch of some object, by means of the rays of the eyes that act as bodiless arms. With these the soul can touch from afar whatever it desires, and the things that the hands of the body do not have under their authority to touch, these can nevertheless be embraced by the rays of the eyes passionately." This is why St. Gregory the theologian also said, "The lamps of the eyes touch the untouchable." It is from these eyes, then, that we must cut off the vision of those beautiful bodies which tempt the soul to shameful and inappropriate desires. You have heard the great Father St. Basil, who said, "Do not play host with your eyes to the displays of wonder-workers or to the visions of bodies that place one at the center of passionate pleasure." You have also heard the wise Solomon, "Let your eyes look directly forward and your gaze be straight before you." Listen also to Job, who said, "I have made a covenant with my eyes. How then could I look upon a virgin?" I beseech you then to place all of your attention upon this sense of sight. First of all, this sense is like a thief, as we said, or rather as a chief among thieves. The eyes can distract the mind very quickly and cause it in a flash to slip into the place of sin. The eyes look upon something passionately. They fondly dwell upon the idol of beauty. In an instant, it is impressed upon the mind. The soul is pleased by the sight of the idol. The mind transmits its appetite and desire to the heart, and the sin is committed without a witness, according to St. Basil. This, then, is what the Lord meant when he said, "Anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart." This is why Solomon reminded us, "Let not the desire of beauty overcome you, neither be enmeshed through your eyes." St. Gregory the theologian, going still further, would have us avoid even a careless glance. He added this thought to the saying in Proverbs, "Be not captivated by your eyes, and if at all possible, not even by a careless glance." In seeking to interpret this, the commentator Nicodemus the Hagiorite wrote the following, "Do not be captivated by your eyes," implies not only a curious and lingering look, but if possible, not even a cursory look that comes upon you by chance, thereby protecting yourselves even from a careless glance that may mislead your vision. Because this is so very difficult to avoid, he added the phrase, "if possible." The sense of sight, then, is simply to see, but on either side of this seeing, there is also the condition of curious sight, and the condition of oversight, the former being excessive and the latter lacking. What must one do when captivated by the eyes? If ever this thief comes and captivates you, fight against him and do not allow any idol of Aphrodite, that is, of any shameful desire, to be impressed upon your soul. How? By taking refuge in God through prayer, which is the most secure way. Deliverance comes only from the Lord. Another way is to turn your imagination to another spiritual thought, so that one imagination wipes out another and one idol destroys another. According to the popular proverb, one peg drives out the other. This is what St. Gregory the theologian meant when he wrote, "A vision caught me but was checked. I set up no image of sin. Was an image set up? Yet the experience of sin was avoided." Do you hear what he is saying? The image of sin stood before him, but was not impressed upon his imagination. Thus he was directly freed from the experience, that is, from the assent or the act of sin. If then the devil does not cease to tempt you with that image that has been impressed upon your imagination, St. Chrysostom and St. Singletiki advise you to use this method in order to be delivered from his wiles. With your mind, gouge out the eyes of that image, tear its flesh, and cut away its lips from the cheeks. Remove, moreover, the beautiful skin that appears externally, and meditate on how what is hidden underneath is so disgusting that no man can bear to look upon it without hate and abhorrence. It is, after all, no more than a skinned skull and an odious bone filled with blood and fearful to behold. Here is what St. Chrysostom said, "Do not therefore pay attention to the external flower here, but proceed further through your mind. Unfold that fine skin with your imagination, and consider what lies beneath it." The most wise St. Singletic said this, "If ever by thought an inappropriate fantasy comes to us, it must be expelled by reason. Thus, shut your eyes to this image, remove from it the flesh of the cheeks, cut away the lips, and imagine then a mass of bones, which is deformed. Think then what the desired image really is. This way our thought will be relieved of any vain deceits, for the desired image is nothing more than blood mixed with phlegm. From this point on, the mind notes nothing about the once desired image, but foul-smelling and decaying ulcers, and soon imagines it lying dead next to the inner eyes. Thus, it is possible for one to escape from sensual thought.